Always strong men, unconquerable body, unconquerable mind. Stop eating like you're still 20. I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth most men ignore until their body forces them to listen. You can't fuel a 55-year-old engine with the same gas you used at 20 and expect it to run smooth. Look in the mirror. Your arms don't fill the sleeves the way they used to. You lift, you eat, you try, but the strength just doesn't respond anymore. Here's what nobody told you. After 50, your muscles don't just slow down, they stop listening. The same protein, the same meals, the same habits that once built, you now barely maintain you. And every year, that silent shrink continues. So the question isn't if you're losing muscle, it's how fast. And more importantly, what can you do to stop it right now? In this video, I'll reveal 5 powerful, real foods that wake your muscles back up. Foods your body actually understands at this age. They're simple, accessible, and scientifically proven to prevent muscle loss after 50. If that already hits close to home, don't just watch, be part of this change. Hit subscribe, tap like, and tell me in the comments where you're struggling most. Together, we'll rebuild what time tried to take away. I'm Dr. Michael Grant Bennett, a urologist who has spent more than 20 years helping men rebuild their confidence, strength, and vitality after 50. Through my years in practice, I've met men who walked into my office certain their best years were behind them. They'd tried powders, pills, and endless high-protein diets. Yet every time, their energy faded and their muscles kept shrinking. But what I've learned is simple. Aging doesn't steal your strength. Confusion does. When you understand how your body changes after 50, rebuilding muscle becomes not only possible, but predictable. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 foods that directly fight the silent loss of muscle. These are the same real foods I recommend to my patients every week, because they work. If you believe science should speak louder than marketing, give this video a like right now. And if you're serious about aging strong, subscribe so we can keep learning, one truth at a time. After 50, most men begin to feel it. The slow mornings, the longer recovery after a simple workout. The sleeves that used to feel tight now hang a little loose. You tell yourself it's just age, but it's not. Something deeper is changing inside your body, and it's rewriting the rules of how you build and keep muscle. Here's the hard truth. Your muscles haven't stopped growing because you're lazy or weak. They've stopped growing because your body has changed the language it listens to. When you were 20, even a quick meal or a small workout could trigger muscle growth. But after 50, your muscle cells become what scientists call anabolically resistant. Imagine your muscles like a radio that's lost its signal. No matter how loud you shout with protein, they barely hear you. Each year after 50, testosterone drops about 1%, growth hormone declines, and a silent inflammation begins to creep into your system. Stress, processed foods, and poor sleep pour gasoline on that fire. Your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, slow down too, producing less energy and more oxidative stress. So even when you eat healthy, your muscles can't absorb or use those nutrients efficiently. And then comes the real trap. You keep eating the way you did at 20. Big dinners, long gaps between meals, high-carb lunches, or skipping breakfast altogether. Back then, your metabolism could handle it. But now, that same pattern spikes your insulin, raises inflammation, and tells your body to store fat instead of build muscle. You might notice your belly growing even though your workouts haven't changed. Let's face it, you can't out-train biology. You can't eat like a college athlete when your body has shifted into a new phase. What worked for your 20-year-old self will slowly drain your 50-year-old self. But here's what most men miss. This decline isn't permanent. It's not the end of your strength. It's a message. Your body is asking for new fuel, better timing, and real nutrition that speaks its language again. When my patients start to understand this, something changes in their eyes. They realize the problem isn't their willpower, it's their strategy. You don't need more powders or promises. You need to reteach your muscles how to listen. So, before we jump into the 5 foods that do exactly that, I want you to think about this question. What if the food on your plate could turn back your body's biological clock, not by magic, but by science? Because it can. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like you were watching your strength fade, leave a comment below and tell me your story. Your experience might help another man realize he's not alone. And if you're ready to learn how to fight back with real food, not false hope, make sure you've subscribed. Together, we're building a stronger brotherhood, one man at a time. After 50, most men begin to feel it. The slow mornings, the longer recovery after a simple workout, the sleeves that used to feel tight now hang a little loose. You tell yourself it's just age, but it's not. Something deeper is changing inside your body, and it's rewriting the rules of how you build and keep muscle. Here's the hard truth. Your muscles haven't stopped growing because you're lazy or weak. They've stopped growing because your body has changed the language it listens to. When you were 20, even a quick meal or a small workout could trigger muscle growth. But after 50, your muscle cells become what scientists call anabolically resistant. Imagine your muscles like a radio that's lost its signal. No matter how loud you shout with protein, they barely hear you. Each year after 50, testosterone drops about 1%, growth hormone declines, and a silent inflammation begins to creep into your system. Stress, processed foods, and poor sleep pour gasoline on that fire. Your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, slow down too, producing less energy and more oxidative stress. So even when you eat healthy, your muscles can't absorb or use those nutrients efficiently. And then comes the real trap. You keep eating the way you did at 20. Big dinners, long gaps between meals, high-carb lunches, or skipping breakfast altogether. Back then, your metabolism could handle it. But now, that same pattern spikes your insulin, raises inflammation, and tells your body to store fat instead of build muscle. You might notice your belly growing even though your workouts haven't changed. Let's face it, you can't out-train biology. You can't eat like a college athlete when your body has shifted into a new phase. What worked for your 20-year-old self will slowly drain your 50-year-old self. But here's what most men miss. This decline isn't permanent. It's not the end of your strength. It's a message. Your body is asking for new fuel, better timing, and real nutrition that speaks its language again. When my patients start to understand this, something changes in their eyes. They realize the problem isn't their willpower, it's their strategy. You don't need more powders or promises. You need to reteach your muscles how to listen. So before we jump into the 5 foods that do exactly that, I want you to think about this question. What if the food on your plate could turn back your body's biological clock, not by magic, but by science? Because it can. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like you were watching your strength fade, leave a comment below and tell me your story. Your experience might help another man realize he's not alone. And if you're ready to learn how to fight back with real food, not false hope, make sure you've subscribed. Together, we're building a stronger brotherhood, one man at a time. Here's the truth. Strength isn't lost. It's asleep. And the key to waking it up isn't another powder or miracle supplement. It's real food, real nutrition that reignites the biological switch your muscles have forgotten how to use. Today, I'll show you the 5 foods I recommend to every man over 50. These are simple, accessible, and proven to help your body hear protein again, to rebuild what time has tried to take away. 1. Whole eggs, the morning growth switch. If you only change one thing in your diet, start your day with real eggs. Yolks included. Whole eggs contain leucine, the amino acid that flips your muscle's growth signal called mTOR. Think of mTOR as your body's green light for muscle synthesis. When you trigger it early in the day, your metabolism wakes up, testosterone production improves, and muscle repair begins immediately. Most men fear cholesterol, but research now shows that dietary cholesterol from eggs actually helps balance hormones and fuel recovery. 2 or 3 whole eggs with some vegetables and whole grain toast give your body everything it needs to rebuild from the inside out. Skip the sugar-loaded breakfast bars. Your body needs signal, not sugar. And if you're already nodding, thinking this makes sense, don't forget to like this video. It tells YouTube there are men who still care about real science, not marketing noise. Int 2. Fatty fish. The inflammation fighter salmon, mackerel, sardines. These are your body's anti-inflammatory warriors. After 50, chronic inflammation is like rust inside your muscles. It slows recovery, weakens your joints, and blocks the pathways that build strength. Omega-3 fatty acids from these fish act like oil in your engine. They clean the system, improve blood flow, and make every protein gram more effective. Studies show that men who eat omega-3 rich fish 2 to 3 times a week have higher anabolic sensitivity. Their muscles actually listen to the protein they eat. If you don't like fish, try omega-3 enriched eggs or algae-based sources, but nothing beats a grilled piece of wild salmon with olive oil and lemon. It's not just food, it's medicine that tastes good. Share this video with a brother who keeps buying supplements but skips real food. He needs to hear this truth today. 3. Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, the nighttime rebuilder. Your muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow while you rest. That's why what you eat before bed can be the difference between progress and plateau. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds your muscles for hours while you sleep. It prevents overnight breakdown and supports recovery until morning. Beyond protein, these foods deliver probiotics that restore gut health, a silent factor most men ignore. A healthy gut absorbs nutrients better, regulates inflammation, and improves energy throughout the day. A bowl of Greek yogurt an hour before bed, maybe with a few almonds or berries, creates the perfect anabolic environment overnight. Forget the synthetic shakes. Your body doesn't need chemicals. It needs real fuel it recognizes. If that idea resonates, drop a comment below. Tell me your go-to night snack, and I'll tell you how to make it muscle-friendly. 4. Legumes and ancient grains, the steady fuel. Protein alone isn't enough. You also need a steady energy source that keeps insulin in check. Lentils, chickpeas, and quinoa are packed with plant-based proteins, fiber, and slow carbohydrates that stabilize your metabolism. When you eat these foods instead of white rice or processed carbs, you lower inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and prevent the midday crash that steals your strength. The fiber also supports gut bacteria, which helps regulate hormones like testosterone and cortisol. Try adding lentils or quinoa as a side to your lunch instead of refined carbs. It's a small switch, but it changes how your body handles energy. Remember, real fuel creates real results. If this inspires you to make a small change today, tap like and share this message. Someone you know is still fighting fatigue because he's eating like he's 20. 5. Lean beef, lamb, or liver, the power builders. Let's be clear, red meat isn't the enemy. It's how and how much you eat that matters. Lean cuts of beef or lamb, eaten 2 to 3 times a week, are loaded with creatine, iron, zinc, and B vitamins, all critical for energy metabolism and muscle contraction. And if you can handle it, a small portion of liver once a week is one of the most powerful nutrient boosts you can give your body. It's nature's multivitamin, supporting testosterone, mitochondrial function, and even skin tone. Just remember balance. Combine red meat with greens, plenty of hydration, and omega-3 rich meals. Together, they restore what time has drained. If this surprises you, leave a quick comment below. I'm bringing steak night back. You'll be amazed how many men are ready to do the same. How to combine them for maximum strength. Here's how I tell my patients to structure their meals. Breakfast: 2 or 3 whole eggs with vegetables and a slice of whole grain toast. Lunch: grilled salmon or sardines with quinoa and spinach. Dinner: Greek yogurt or cottage cheese before bed, or a lean cut of beef with legumes earlier in the evening. Spread your protein evenly, about 0.4 grams per kilogram of body weight at each meal, and drink enough water to support muscle contraction. When you feed your body this way, it starts remembering what strength feels like. You wake up with more energy, recover faster, and see definition you thought was gone for good. Your body is not broken. It's just waiting for the right message. Food is that message. Real food, real timing, real results. If this section gave you a plan you can follow today, hit subscribe so you never miss the next step. And if you know someone stuck in the same frustration, share this video. It might be the wake-up call he needs. When you start feeding your body real food again, something incredible happens. It doesn't just rebuild your muscles, it rewires your entire life. Your metabolism steadies, your energy lasts, and the brain fog that made afternoons feel endless starts to lift. You'll notice that even small things, like climbing stairs or tying your shoes, feel easier. That's not luck. That's physiology responding to nourishment. The same omega-3s that protect your heart also sharpen your focus. The calcium and vitamin D in dairy keep your bones solid. The complete proteins from eggs and fish rebuild lean mass and stabilize blood sugar. And the fiber in legumes quietly resets your gut, reducing inflammation, calming stress hormones, and even improving sleep. But the benefits go beyond the biological. When men feel strong again, they stand taller, speak with more confidence, and look people in the eye differently. It's not vanity, it's vitality. Your posture changes. Your face looks more alive. You carry yourself with the quiet power of someone who knows he's taking control again. And maybe most important of all, you start believing in your body again. Because the mirror finally shows progress, not the version you used to be, but the stronger one you've become. That's why I tell my patients, rebuilding muscle after 50 isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming your identity. When you move with strength, you think clearer, love deeper, and live longer. If this message resonates, take a second to like this video and share it with another man who needs hope. And tell me in the comments, what's the biggest change you've noticed since you started feeding your body better? Your story could be the spark that pushes someone else to start today. I want to tell you about a man named Mark, a 56-year-old engineer who came into my office not long ago. He walked in with his gym bag over his shoulder and a familiar frustration on his face. He looked strong on the outside, but I could see it in his eyes. He was tired, confused, and quietly losing hope. He sat down and said, "Doc, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I hit the gym 4 times a week. I drink my protein shakes. I take all the right supplements. But every time I look in the mirror, I see less muscle and more belly. What's wrong with me?" When I asked him about his diet, the truth revealed itself. His breakfast was usually just coffee and a bar. Lunch, if he had time, was a sandwich or a slice of pizza at work. Dinner was the biggest meal of the day, heavy with carbs, eaten late at night. And between those meals, there were long gaps of hunger. I told him gently, "Mark, you're eating like you're still 20. Your body isn't 20 anymore. It's wiser, slower, and it needs a new rhythm." Instead of giving him a new pill, I gave him a new map: real food, structured timing, and a simple mission: to feed his body what it actually understands. 2 eggs every morning with vegetables and whole grain toast. Salmon twice a week with greens and quinoa. A small bowl of Greek yogurt before bed. Lentils instead of white rice. Nothing extreme, just consistent, real nourishment. The first 2 weeks were tough. He missed his quick shakes and easy snacks. But by the third week, he started waking up with more energy. His joints ached less. His digestion improved. 6 weeks in, his coworkers noticed he looked sharper, lighter, and somehow younger. By 12 weeks, his posture changed. He told me, "Doc, I'm finally getting stronger again. It's like my body remembered how to grow." But what struck me most wasn't his muscle. It was his mindset. Mark said, "I realize strength isn't something you lose. It's something you stop feeding." That sentence has stayed with me ever since, because it's the truth. When men start giving their bodies what they truly need, everything shifts. Physically, mentally, emotionally. They move better, sleep deeper, and live with a confidence that can't be bottled or bought. So if you see yourself in Mark's story, don't feel discouraged. Feel inspired, because your body is waiting for the same message. Real food, real timing, real respect. Start today, and 12 weeks from now, you might be telling your own success story. And if you believe this message needs to reach more men, do me one favor. Like this video, share it with a friend, and tell me in the comments what your Mark moment is, the point where you decided to fight back. Let's keep building this brotherhood together. Subscribe, and let's make sure every man over 50 remembers that strength never retires. It just waits for a comeback. Before you change anything you eat, remember this: your body is unique. This video is for education, not a personal prescription. I'm Dr. Michael Grant Bennett, and while I believe deeply in real food, I also believe in smart, individualized care. That means checking your medical history, your medications, and your lab work, so your plan is safe, effective, and yours. If you're on blood thinners, be mindful with high-dose omega-3s from fish or supplements. Too much can increase bleeding risk. If you have high cholesterol or a family history of heart disease, talk with your doctor about how many whole eggs fit your plan and track your lipid panel over time. LDL, HDL, triglycerides. If you're lactose intolerant, Greek yogurt may still work, but consider lactose-free yogurt or kefir. The goal is slow, steady protein at night without discomfort. And if you don't eat fish, algae-based omega-3s can be a thoughtful alternative. Men with diabetes should pace carbohydrates wisely. Legumes and ancient grains can stabilize post-meal glucose, but portion size still matters. If you're using metformin, SGLT2 inhibitors, or insulin, coordinate changes with your clinician to avoid unwanted lows or fluctuations. If you're on statins and experience muscle aches, discuss creatine or CoQ10 with your provider. Never self-dose aggressively. 2 universal habits help nearly everyone: hydrate consistently and protect your sleep window. Muscles grow when you're resting, not scrolling. Aim for a calm pre-sleep routine, then give your body slow protein so it can rebuild through the night. Finally, schedule periodic checkups: blood pressure, A1C, or fasting glucose, comprehensive lipids, vitamin D, and basic kidney and liver panels. Data turns guesswork into progress. If balanced, evidence-based advice matters to you, tap like so this message reaches more men. And if you want steady guidance, not noise, hit subscribe and share this with a friend who needs safe, realistic steps forward. What's one safety question you want me to cover next? Drop it in the comments. I'm listening. If you've made it this far, I want you to take a deep breath and realize something. You're not past your prime. You're just entering a wiser chapter of your strength. What you've learned today isn't just about food. It's about control. About knowing how to feed a body that's evolved, not expired. Those 5 foods we talked about aren't magic. They're reminders that your body still works beautifully when you listen to it. You don't need to chase shortcuts or fear time. You simply need to give your body what it recognizes in the rhythm it deserves. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, start your day differently. Cook those eggs. Plan that salmon lunch. Grab that yogurt before bed. Every meal is a vote for the man you're becoming. If this message resonated with you, don't let it end here. Tap subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment telling me which food you're starting with. Your story could be the motivation another man needs to change his life. And before you go, share this video with one friend over 50 who's still fighting to feel strong again. You might just change his tomorrow. This is Dr. Michael Grant Bennett reminding you, stay consistent, stay curious, and stay always strong.